does say layout 1 updated. Alright. What are we doing? Okay, streaming mode is off. None of you guys can spam Discord and alert everybody in chat. That's good. That's good. Alright, let me do... Hey, 10, welcome in. What are you smacking? Giddy up. I'm not a horse. What are you doing? Treating me like I'm some kind of horse. And what in the world is OBS doing? Lighting up with an alert every time there's a chat. Message now. Oh, that's gonna get obnoxious. But how you doing tonight, Den? Alright, let me just go ahead and take that out. I'm just fighting a migraine. Ooh, that sucks, man. You might want to get yourself some sleep. Just like sit back and get some water. You know, water helps me out quite a lot whenever I'm having a migraine. Hey Ozzy, how you doing? How you doing? I don't know if that'll help you out at all, 10, but hey, if it helps, then there you go. All right. And then just spam it on all the socials. Oh, right, and also the itch page. I forgot, there's more places I need to post this now. And bye, gotta do an 8 p.m. jog since my classes today got canceled and I didn't realize. Oh, nice. Alright, well, good luck. Have fun. Alright, what are we doing next? Hey Zeke, chat better not be pooping in chat. Well, now that the idea has been planted in people's heads, now we have to watch out for that. How you doing though, Zeke? You having a good night? All right. I'm doing fine. Great, great. Oh, definitely have to wait for that to cool off a little bit. Oh, that burned going down. I was feeling kind of parched, so I was trying to drink some tea, but I forgot I have to wait for that to cool off. Oh, that was painful. Okay. Yeah, so for today, we have 2 games on the list. So I'm going to see if I can actually get this done a little earlier tonight, because I'm starting to fall behind on my judging pace, and I wanted to get a couple in before the stream today, but I just never got a chance to. So yeah, I want to just go ahead and knock out a couple of these. Just wanted to highlight some that I've had my eye on for one reason or another. So we're just going to go ahead and do those. And then I will probably end it early tonight. Just so I can get into the idea of, well, yeah, just get back to working on more of these. But yeah, you guys been playing other games in the Game Jam? I hope so. There's some good stuff out there. Any of them stick out to you for one reason or another, if you have? Let's do this one first. Yeah. ahead and just get started. Let me just close down this. I'm gonna keep my notes on over here. Yeah. Okay, so you guys remember when we played hashtag no hacks last time, right? So I said I had another game that was working with a similar theme here. So here is that similar theme. I'm hoping this works the way that I want it to. Here we go. Yeah, so this one stuck out to me for the same reason that fucking hell. All right, I forgot I forgot about that. All right, yeah. So this one stuck out to me for the same reasons that no hacks stuck out. Will you stop? All right, I should probably get started before this thing keeps jump scaring me. All right, always dash on. Okay, yeah, Eden Drive. Eden Drive does not follow the rules and linearity of a traditional game. Are you sure you want to start a new playthrough? I've got my doubts about that. But who knows what you're saying when what you're trying to compare it to when it means a traditional game. But let's just go ahead and get started before I get jump scared by more static. All right. Year 2085. The decaying metropolis of Neo Kotora. Old Circuit District. Damn, I'm not feeling too good. Hey, look, there's the person's name in the title. What the? Who's this woman? She's in a hurry, isn't she? Time to go. And then we have... Yep, we're chatting right here. Bought an illegal implant yesterday. Now I can see infrared. You see these digitalist weirdos? They're handing out flyers promising eternal life. Oh, this is not the right way. Okay, good. I'm glad you decided to take that into account. I was wondering what was going on, like if you could walk all the way over here. But I guess not. Guess you thought of that. Yeah. Buy Neo Kotora digital currency tokens. Nah, I'm good. I'm definitely not okay. And she's dead. So, a quick thing before we move on. A lot of games I see like to throw in cool visual effects without a lot of thought behind them. Because, you know, when you first get RPG Maker, you're just like, oh, cool, here's a lot of toys I can play with. They grab a whole bunch of pre-made scripts, you load in some cool looking effects, and then it's done. And whenever I see that, it always rubs me the wrong way, because it's just like, okay, you're demonstrating your ability to put in a bunch of plugins, and you don't really give a lot of thought as to how they work in the game itself. Eden Drive understands that. And they're like, yeah, okay, so we have these hacking effects that distort your screen in the way that actually makes sense if your computer glitches out. I was like, yeah, okay. That was when it stuck out to me. It's like, okay, these devs, all right, they know what they're doing. Anyway, MindSafe Personal Consciousness Backup System. Oops, it seems your vital signs have abruptly ceased. Don't panic, this happens more often than you think. Your current physical status, deceased. Backup consciousness status, ready for activation. Warning, this system will now shut down to reboot your digital consciousness. Please confirm. Shut down? What? Second warning, this system will now shut down to reboot your digital consciousness. Please confirm. All right, so my first time I played this, I actually clicked I don't want to die. So I'm actually curious what what confirm actually does. So let's check that. All right, sure. Because if I'm in this world, then clearly this was something that this character implanted in her head. So all right, let's just confirm it. You have been warned. Shutdown is imminent. Please relaunch the application. Well, that's a bit of a letdown, not gonna lie. Because all right, so we have the confirmation, but yep, boom. Oh no, it's shut down. Much kind of like I don't want to say much like hacks does. I was about to say .hack, but like no, that's not what that is. No hacks is like, oh okay. So then we start it up again. No title screen. City of Neo Kotora, year 2085. Apartment number 1986. You don't need the comma there. Yeah, you don't need the comma there either. Oh, great. More spam. Just what my productive day needed. Mind safe? Never heard of it before. And it was at this moment that I opened up, I stopped for a second and I stared at the screen. And I was like, okay. Okay, devs. They say you have to hook your players in within the first 30 seconds of your game. Well, consider me hooked. I was like, okay, I'm locked in. Let's see what these devs got. Hey, can you hear me? Am I coming through? Whoa, what the hell? Did my cloud storage just get possessed? Something like that. Look, we don't have much time. Actually, wait, technically, I have all the time in the world now, right? Eden? What are you doing inside my computer? Is this a joke? Because I'm way too sober for this. I wish, but this is my backup, you adorable, unemployed, overgrown toddler. My consciousness is now safely stored in your cloud. Surprise! You uploaded your brain to my cloud without asking? Well, mine was getting hacked every other Thursday. Yours had fewer pop-ups and way less spyware. Congrats on that, by the way. Who did you hack this time? I don't remember, but if I'm here, it means that I'm dead. And that was an auto advance. I had no idea what he was saying there. Pretty dead. Can't remember why though, but knowing me, it was probably spectacular. And you think casually haunting my desktop is the best way to tell me? Think of me as your new digital roommate, except I don't pay rent and won't leave dirty dishes everywhere. Win-win. What? Now get off that stupid chair and go investigate. The last thing I remember was strolling around Old Circuit. I guess this is officially the weirdest Tuesday ever. Oh, buckle up, buddy. You received tablet. Open your inventory anytime to summon Eden's digital copy and have a lovely chat. Eden is now inside your device. No, seriously, look. I like how it actually forces me to look. Did you find her? I wonder what sort of strange things you can do with that Eden drive. Well, there it is, Eden drive. Well. Okay, well, let's check that out. Oh. Well. Here it is. So now we've got the same basic principle that we have in No Hacks. Except this time it's a little bit more elaborate. It's not just turning switches. So yeah. And yeah, the game never really tells you what you want to do with this. Unfortunately, like, you look at this and the first thing I think of is, okay, XP max value 5 digits. Yeah. Other stat max value 3 digits. And there you go. I don't know when that's gonna, be a problem or come in handy, but here it is. Right, so let's get out of here and see what happens next. So, you know what I really do appreciate about the writing in this game? I remember making a note of this. Be like, the writing is very quick, it's very punchy, and it conveys everything that it needs to convey. I've been playing a lot of games during this jam where it's like, it's very, very wordy. Like, if you're trying to do a story-driven experience, there's a lot of elaboration that you don't need to elaborate on. there's a lot of over-explaining or a lot of meandering in places that aren't really that important. Not here. So pay attention to the writing here, because there's a lot of... it's both full of personality and quick and to the point. Let's see. Spoons, USB cables, ancient takeout menus, all the essentials. Like this line right here. The amount of times I played an RPG, especially in this jam, excuse me, where you would examine a drawer like this and it just says, it's a drawer. There's some socks inside. I say this a few times, but I always say that character dialogue is information conveyed through the personality. Conveyed through the lens of the character, the filter of the character, excuse me. So, spoons, USB cables, ancient takeout menus. In a lot of other RPG Maker games, this would be all that you would see. But now we're conveying this information through the filter of the character. Let's see, spoons, USB cables, ancient takeout menus, all the essentials. This tells you everything that you need to know about Riley at this moment. So yeah, take note of this, other devs. This is how you do flavor text. The desk is a chaotic blend of tech gadgets, sticky notes, and unfulfilled promises. There's a plethora of other screens to watch outside. Let's go. Okay, so let's go talk to Eden. Tablet. Get your ass to Old Circuit. Yep. Yes, ma'am. Riley's wardrobe, where fashion goes to die. You know, that is kind of interesting, because I think I recognize the art style, so I think this is like the future, like the Frontiers pack character. But I do have to agree that, you know, Eden's design looked way more cyberpunk than Riley's design here, because Riley's design gives off more of a fantasy vibe than anything else. But I think that's just a product of the asset pack that's being used. My Cyber Slayer poster, limited edition. Travel to the district of Old Circuit? Yeah, sure. Old Circuit. Here we go. Yep, this definitely has cyberpunk all over it. You know, I actually started a playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 right before this jam started. I was like, huh, maybe I can play a little bit just off to the side, just kind of wind down every night. But nope, I got about an hour into Cyberpunk. And yeah, then the jam started and I'm like, oh crap, I got no time. But enough about my poor time management skills. But I bring that up because this reminds me so much of the setting of 2077. Yeah. So how come you can't remember why you died? Dunno. They may have messed with my cyber augmentations. Fine. Where do we go from here? I think I remember crossing the street and reaching a dark alley behind the clinic. But yeah, like the trash everywhere, the almost slums-like place that we're in, despite the fact, like contrasting the obvious low-income area with cybernetic augmentations. I was like, yeah, that's what reminds me of 2077. What do you got here? Every alley here is either a shortcut or a crime scene. Who made this? They did a great job. Well, I just closed down the Excel sheet that had the link to it, but hey, if you want to go check it out for yourself, that's the name of the game, Eden Drive. And yes, I agree, they did do a great job. Every alley here is either a shortcut or a crime scene. Saw some guy in shades lurking around yesterday. Thought he was just another wannabe, but he gave me the chills. Careful with those neurocore implants. I heard they spy on your dreams. Creepy stuff. I'm torn between this and the zombie game from what I've seen. Why are you torn? These games are not long. You can play them both. What exactly are you torn about? Power went out again last night. Old Circuit ain't much, but at least NeuroCore doesn't have its cameras watching every street. Yet. No, I mean as which I think looks better. Ah, okay. I don't think it's a... personally, I don't think it's a linear thing. It's not an either or. You know, they're both trying to go for completely different things. It's almost the exact... Holy shit, what was that? I fat-fingered the insert key on the number pad, and it just freaked out for a second. Huh. Alright. But yeah, like, it is almost the exact definition of apples and oranges. You know, they are two entirely different things, and I think trying to compare one to the other does a disservice to them both. Your fingers need to stop eating pizza and Chick-fil-A. Excuse me, 10. I don't know what kind of, like, ascended being that you are, but humans eat with their mouths, not with their fingers. Alright, what's next? What are you looking at? Not much. But yeah, just to repeat my last point, trying to compare one to the other, especially when they do wildly different things, that just does a disservice to them both. Because look at this. A lot of this is stuff that you don't even have to go to. Like this area, you don't even have to go to. And yet, look at all the thought that was put into it. Like, that's crazy. My cleaning bot ran away last night. Didn't even leave a note. People laugh at Cyber Slayer, but those old comics taught me more than my parents ever did. Someone hacked into the TV screens last night, broadcasting Cyber Slayer episodes all over Old Circuit. Legend. Yeah, that's great. Heard the drone patrol caught a kid tagging a MindSafe ad board. 3 months in corp jail. Harsh. Okay, so now we're just gonna move on and then make our way through here. Oh yeah, right here. The neon sign says, "Stop climbing random ladders." Well then, how about you put another sign that says, "Stop leaving random ladders out there." Legal medications and a few questionable stimulants. Well, here we are. Does this... Hey, Steel Soldier, welcome in. How you doing? How you doing? Does this charming dumpster-filled alley spark any fond memories? Actually, yeah. I distinctly remember passing out somewhere near that stain over there. Doing good? How are you? I'm doing just fine. Just fine. Lovely. Yet no crime scene, no tape, no body. I stress, no body. Where the heck is my body? Huh. Weird place for a vending machine, isn't it? They have security cameras, don't they? I have an idea. Okay. Connect me to that vending machine. I'll slip inside, digitally speaking, and pull the security feed. You want to hack a vending machine? Hey, if you know a better way of interrogating snack dispensers, I'm all ears. Okay. Plug Tapple into the vending machine. So, boom. Now that feeling was new. How is this gonna work then? And here I am, as Eden. Hey, John Erico, welcome in. How you doing? Is anyone else hearing that chime whenever somebody types in chat? Because if it's just me, then I can deal with it until I figure out what's going on. Wait, you heard that too? I hear it? Oh, man. What is that? I don't need that. I think it's only when a person posts their first post. You're right. I didn't hear it. I think it's like a first time on chat today chime. Oh. Is that new to Twitch? Because that was not there on Monday. Huh. Well, alright. Good to know, I guess. That can get kind of annoying, though. I'll look into see if I can disable it. Or at least only so that I hear it. It is... Okay, now that I know that you guys hear it too, that's good to know. Checking for cam access. 0 is false. 1 stands for true. The current value is 0. Access forbidden. What do I do now? Think, Eden, think. Now, we're going to wait a moment. Because here we are with this. Look at that. We got ourselves a new... Oh, okay. Well, there's the chime again with Zeeg. What are you using for streaming software at the moment? The same software I've been using, OBS. I have not updated the version or anything else. It is the exact same settings that I've had. Yeah. Oh, look at that. There's a new folder that appeared in the game, in Eden Drive. Vending machine. Cam access. 0 is false. 1 is true, huh? Okay. We just do that. Checking for cam access. 0 is false. 1 stands for true. Current value is 1. Access confirmed. What the? Yeah. Damn, I feel weird watching this. Let's speed up the tape. People suck. Slow down that. Slow that down. Replay. Okay, that guy with shades definitely did something. Let's keep watching. Sometime later, a nurse picks up Eden's body and stuffs it in her pocket, apparently. I've seen enough. Who knew vending machines saw this much drama? That's a line you can take out of context and it'll be weird no matter where you put it. The guy in shades was messing with something on my head. Did I have something valuable up there? Your dignity. Funny. My memories have been wiped. What about the nurse? Oh, right. MindSafe throws in free medical insurance. Guess I didn't expect the whole resurrection part would come first. She's carrying your body away towards Green Market Clinic, right down the street. Perfect. Maybe they know what Mr. Sunglasses stole from my head. It's as good a start as any. Alright, let's head there. Maybe we'll find some answers. Or at least your missing dignity. Charming. Now move before I haunt your tablet's browsing history. New concepts unlock. Clinic and Hitman. Let's take a look at those, shall we? There's an option in the menu for concepts. We can just check and see what that's all about. A suspicious dude with shades did a thing to Eden's body. Looked like a hitman or something like that. Friend, hacker, tomboy, cyber augmentation aficionado Eden died and is now in your cloud. She was quite popular among the hacking community in Neo Kotara and probably made somebody really angry. Well, I can't imagine there's a lot of hackers out there who would be friends with people. Because, you know, that's like saying a thief was friends with all their marks. They're like, hey, by the way, just up your security tonight. I'm gonna make an attempt. The Green Market Clinic, all one word for some reason, is a private, surprisingly expensive clinic in Old Circuit District. Entrance is automated and only opens if you have a client badge. Well, how's that gonna help? I wanted to click out of there. Ah, you little scamp, you sent me a Trojan, didn't you? Classic hacker. Yeah, exactly. Probably a simp who Eden didn't know his name or didn't acknowledge his $5 bit donation. She's not a VTuber. Well, I was about to say she wasn't a VTuber when she died, but I guess now she could be the most authentic VTuber that would ever exist. She is in my heart. Oh, 10. Your waifus aren't real, 10. They never have been, and they never will be. We're playing a work of fiction right now, 10. Wake up, 10. Hey, Fortuna, welcome in. How you doing? My waifu is real. Yeah, they all say that. Overflowing trash bins. Rumor has it they're emptied monthly, whether they need it or not. I guess the month is almost up, huh? You are lucky, and we are in May. I no longer have my banana badge. What? Well, I mean, you may be in May. It's still April where I am. So no more caught for you. I was never caught. I don't know what you're talking about. Guys, don't listen to Fortuna. I've never done anything worth being caught over. You're late again. Already listened? Okay, well, you don't have to comprehend. You can listen, but don't comprehend. You'd better have a good excuse. Blame Neurocore, not me. My implant glitched out again. Their ads promised perfect cognitive enhancement. But all I got was 20 minutes stuck staring at a loading screen. Inside my head. Why do people still trust those overpriced implants? Because being average is apparently worse than risking brain freeze? Well, that's weird. Sure, you never did. Exactly. See? You get it. And a good night to you, too. Neurocore. Perfecting the art of turning brains into buggy smartphones since day one. Surprised people haven't started suing them yet. Hard to sue when you can't remember your lawyer's name. Probably erased by those very same implants they give you. Hey, do you think they're behind what happened to you? I don't know. Yet. But it's a possibility. And with that, we're going on ad break. Let me just do a quick little look around. Check out some flavor text while we're here, before we move on to the main event. Neon color graffiti stating, "Welcome to Old Circuit, Neokotara's finest glitch." Despite the fact that it clearly says, "Into my void, king." Alright, sure. I get it, you know. You don't have the actual... You don't have time to make the actual assets. That's fine, whatever. Looking for a snack that almost tastes like real fruit? Apparently not. I am, however, looking for where the top half of my head went. Whoops. Aw, no text for going into the pizza joint? There we go. Corp drones unwelcome. Hackers drink half price. Wow. That's a lot to put in a graffiti door. Also, who says that? In your Japanese neon... Or, wait, that's not Japanese. That's Korean, I want to say? That doesn't look like... Granted, I'm no Japanese expert, but... Yeah, this looks more Japanese. This looks different. I don't know. Anyone more... what's the word I'm looking for? Vested in Asian writing than I am can probably corroborate on that. Or call me an idiot for not knowing what I'm talking about. Either way. Let's go. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Let's go in. Locked. Locked. Looks like you can't enter without a client badge. Seriously? But I'm dead and I don't remember ever receiving any. Any ideas? Nope. Ask around. Hackers drink half price and motherfuckers will still hack the price to get it for free. You know what? When you invite that kind of clientele, you better have some good security. You better have security updated like every 10 seconds. Have a new patch like every time somebody blinks. Because yeah, when you invite that kind of clientele, you better be ready for what happens. Alright, guess we're asking around then. Okay, that's the same text that we had. So we go asking around, and then, oh look, here we go. Now we know exactly where to go. Because of the exclamation point. I got all the new issues of Cyber Slayer, the augmented reality comic. Okay. Let's ask him about Eden. Eden, never heard of her. Okay. One shady guys, plural, that shouldn't be plural, with sunglasses? Dude, is this your first time in Neo Kotora? They got rich with implant manufacturing. Came out of nowhere like comic book villains. Okay, guess all that's left is clinic. Those clinic folks are always losing badges around here. Yesterday, someone left one near that other stall over there. Oh, that was easy enough. Thank you, Nightbot, for alerting me about this. Come on, man. Looking for a snack that almost tastes like real fruit? Hackers got to be careful these days and age. Big companies don't like them sniffing around. I don't think big companies would ever like them sniffing around no matter what day and age you're in. He said he had a suit on? Can't be local. Had one of their implants installed on my eye. Now I need to wear a patch. Don't know about a badge, but I've seen a punk kid with green hair around here. Picking through junk like it was treasure or something. He's still in the area. Alright, so I guess we just gotta keep looking around for... Oh, there we go. There's the other exclamation point. Yeah, I found a badge, but I ain't handing it over for nothing. I'm poor and unemployed, bro. Being rich is a state of mind, bro. Don't care about money. I'm looking for an original Cyber Slayer comic, issue 14. Been trying to get my hands on one forever. Bring me that, and the badge is yours. Being rich is a state of mind. Alright, let's see. I wonder, how many people believe that? Not that I'm saying you have to believe that for it to be believable writing, but hey, the punk has to believe it, and that's all that really matters. New concept unlocked, Cyber Slayer Comics. Okay. So, you have a Cyber Slayer issue number, what was it? I guess this is just a quick check to see if you're actually paying attention to the dialogue, because I don't really know why this would even be a challenge given to the player otherwise. That's a collector's item these days. You're in luck. I got a beat up copy, but it ain't cheap. I have a very good reason to get that comic, and that is... Eden? I'm investigating on a dear friend's death. What? Tell me more. Hey ya. Whoa, this is just the inspiration I needed to write my own graphic novel. Thanks for sharing your story with me. Here's your issue. And here's the comic. Alright, cool. I guess not everything revolves around money these days, huh? Maybe this kind of cyberpunk city is actually, you know, good. We've evolved beyond the concept of money. Now, if only our landlords could believe that. Got your Cyber Slayer comic. A bit roughed up, but authentic. No way. You're a legend. Here, take the badge. It's all yours. Pleasure doing business. Alright, there's the badge. All that trouble for a comic? Seriously? Apparently, nerd cred is worth more than actual credits here. A new file appeared on your computer. Oh, okay. Well, then let's check it out. Badge data. Days valid. Well, it starts off with 0, so... It's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, now I get the concept, but maybe... A part of me is wondering, like, you know, are we really ready to give players a bit more creativity when it comes to these kinds of solutions? Because when you push that in our face, like that, like, easily, like that hard in our face is like, okay, yeah, it no longer becomes a creative thinking puzzle. It's just change the number 0 to anything, I guess. I kind of wish these games would give us a little bit more creativity when it comes to solving puzzles, but right now it's either or, which, granted, for a jam, I think it's pretty cool that this mechanic exists at all. But yeah, I just kind of wish it was explored a little bit more. But maybe the audience isn't ready for these kinds of solutions yet. Oh, hello. What do you have to say? Neurocore implants landed me here. Apparently, occasional dizziness means fainting in public. Yikes. Third visit this week. It's the new implant. If the receptionist says, "Have a green market day" one more time, I'm unplugging her. A bulletin board filled with motivational posters and warnings about side effects nobody reads. Welcome to Green Market Clinic, your trusted partner for health and happiness. Say your name if you have an appointment, or say, "Excuse me," if this is one of those awkward walk-in situations. Haha, sense of humor detected. Ha ha. Okay, right. No appointment registered by the name Riley. Okay, nothing there. What about Eden? No appointment registered by the name Eden. Okay, well, excuse me. How can I help you? I was hoping you could help me find information about a recent patient, a friend of mine. She was brought here very recently. Sudden death. Ring any bells? I'm afraid patient data is confidential. Unless your family or a licensed investigator, which, no offense, you don't look like either, my cyber hands are tied. She's charming, isn't she? I've got this. Can you at least tell me how one might obtain confidential files around here? This is Old Circuit, not the business district, for crying out loud. Typically, one doesn't. Unless, hypothetically speaking, someone could help me bypass certain tedious administrative restrictions. Maybe then I could experience a sudden lapse in memory protocols. Are you suggesting that we hack your systems for you? I would never. But purely hypothetically, the terminal beside me suffers from frequent glitches, causing me, in turn, to temporarily forget confidentiality protocols. Accidents happen. Wow, the AI receptionist is morally ambiguous. Impressive coding. And just invites you right into her terminal. Wouldn't that be nice? Just hack into whatever you need. Alright, plug in Eden in. Still feels weird. Let's go. And then here's the next cyber puzzle. So we're going in here. Empathy level 100. Sarcasm level 0. Well then. Here we go. Green Market Clinic. Empathy. Alright, well. And now we're like, okay, well, how do we... What do we do here? I guess we can overwrite her personality. So let's do 50 empathy, 50 sarcasm. Whoops. Well, that didn't work either. That's a shame. Okay, let's just disable everything. No empathy, no sarcasm. Total value 0. It should be 100. Oh. Well, that's a little disappointing, not gonna lie. Because now you have to just put everything from empathy and into sarcasm. You couldn't do anything else? I think if you added a few more concepts or a few more emotions instead, and that would affect the dialogue that the android had when you're done with this puzzle, I think that would have made for some interesting not replay value, but, creativity in your solutions. Well, okay. Oh no, we can't seem to go through here. What do we do? Well, let's see what we got going on here. Bridge 0, 1. Oh, look at that. The bridge changed. Current memory cycle 21 days. Maximum capacity 84 days. To disable the automatic memory deletion protocol, enter the interval in days. Interval must be the lowest common multiple of memory cycle and maximum capacity. Hey, Looney, does this mean I can add files to your System32 with RPG Maker? Don't you dare. That would be some scummy moves. Well, what do you guys think it is? The lowest common interval. 69. Why am I not surprised at all that you would say that? But alright, sure. Okay, yeah, that I'm surprised. I'm not surprised at all that 10 said that. I expected that from 10, but Looney? Come on, y'all letting me down. Want me to solve it for you, Ace? I'm good at math. Lowest common multiple between 21 and 84. Lowest common multiple of current memory cycle maximum capacity. What other two-digit number is there? Plenty. 3? Nope. Do you guys not know math? I can't believe this. Bam. Look at that. It was 84. I totally didn't get that wrong my first time, too, and I had to rely on her help. How is it 84? It's the lowest common multiple between the two. Yeah. So, yeah. Just get... I am kind of sad that she didn't have any kind of commentary if you solve it yourself, because she rubs it in your face quite a bit if you had to rely on her help. The lowest common multiple? Yep. That is math. That is how math work. Explain. Go look up a textbook. Go grab yourself. Ah! Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. There we go. I don't have a textbook. I have a Nova. Well, I don't have a textbook either. There we go. Forced politeness. Checking if active. Currently active. Oh, okay, so what do we do here? Oh, forced P. So what is this? Whoa, that ain't right. It's a PDF file. So actually, I think we have to open that with something else. Yeah, there we go. Green Market Clinic AI functions. Always be polite. As long as this file exists, AI politeness will be forced. Have a green market day. As long as this file exists, huh? Okay. Let's just... let's see what happens if we rename it. Bypassed. Boom. And there you go. This is such a cool game. I agree. Hence why I highlighted it. Oh, it's you again. Apparently someone just accidentally removed all my confidentiality restrictions. How unfortunate. This sudden and completely unintended malfunction has conveniently made certain confidential files fully accessible. Oh no, a new document has been added to Eden Drive. Okay, let's check this out. Medical report. That's another PDF file. So let's open it. I sure hope you have Adobe Reader on you. Now that I'm thinking about it. Actually, what? Why the hell did I choose GIMP? Oh, this ought to be weird. I gotta see how this looks in GIMP. Hang on. Yeah, that's about what I thought. Import from PDF. Wow. That was entirely unintentional. Alright, what do we have here? Green Market Clinic autopsy report. Okay, gender female, age 28, build medium, complexion dark brown, hair color brown. Cause of death, acute neurological overload resulting in catastrophic cardiac arrest. Evidence strongly suggests external sabotage of neural implant. Okay, external examination. No visible external trauma or injuries, aside from minor abrasions consistent with sudden collapse. Post-mortem incision noted at posterior cervical area, nape of neck, indicating unauthorized extraction. Cardiovascular and respiratory systems intact but indicative of acute stress from neurological trauma. Examination of cranial and cervical regions revealed forced removal of a NeuroCore NC450 neural interface chip, a subdermal neural implant device. Neural tissues adjacent to extraction site exhibit severe electrical damage consistent with high voltage interference or deliberate sabotage. Additional observations. Precision and method of implant removal indicates skilled intervention. Missing implant likely containing evidence critical for determining precise circumstances surrounding neurological overload. Death was caused by externally induced neural feedback loop triggered via interface with neural implant. Removal of implant post-mortem indicates clear intent to conceal critical evidence. Recommend forwarding findings to investigative authorities for further inquiry. So far, very little. We learned very little from this, other than the fact that whoever knew, this is probably the only new bit of information that we learned, to be honest. Precision and method of implant removal indicates skilled intervention. All right, sure. Looks like my memory of this incident has also mysteriously vanished. Oops. Have a green market day, creepy grin. You know, just out of curiosity. What happens if we do this now? We put the empathy back on. No more sarcasm. Have a green market day, creepy grin. Aw. Well, that's disappointing. But hey, the fact that you set up these kinds of expectations by having this kind of meta game associated with it, I think that's... Oh no. I think we hacked the reality. We hacked the Matrix. Whoops. Oh well. Just as a reminder, because again, I'm assuming that a lot of people come in. You're the one. I guess I am. I'm assuming that people coming in here have not seen any other streams. If I'm playing these games, this is not a live judging session. If I'm playing these games, that means I've already judged them and I've found them to be interesting enough to talk about or showcase to everybody here. So if I come across any bugs or glitches or whatever, don't worry, that's not going to affect your score. Unless we have found something that violates the rules, right? So, yeah. We actually had that happen the very first stream. We found out that one of the assets that was used in one of the games was actually... They weren't supposed to use that, and so that entry got disqualified. It's a shame, but that's the only circumstance where anything that we come across here will affect your score. Very clean. You know, I was praising the game's flavor text at the very start, so it really sucks to see something like this, because this is exactly what I was thinking about. Like Dev should do less of. Very clean. You had some cool stuff at the very beginning, and it's a shame that it just kind of fizzled out right here. Oh well. All right, we've got the autopsy. Let's get somewhere safe before what exactly? I believe this is a good moment to state that I have no combat skills whatsoever. I strongly suggest you end your little investigation right here. You're digging into things beyond your comprehension. Says the guy who steals implants from dead people in dark alleys. Trust me, being dead is better than what's next for you if you keep meddling. And next time, I won't be so polite. Well, that went fabulously. At least now we know we're on the right track. Sometimes dead is better. Sometimes, when you're capable of being hacked, when you, a person, are capable of being hacked, yeah, sometimes being dead is better than living in a world where humans can be hacked. Great. Remind me again why I'm helping you solve your murder? Because your life was boring before I showed up. Fair point. So where are we headed now? I have an idea. There's this place called The Node, northeast of here, where hackers gather and do stuff. It's where hackers gather and do stuff. What kind of stuff? Hacking stuff. Removing the implant may have erased my memories, but we can find traces of what I was up to and why. Pissed off Neurocore. Whoops. That whole sentence probably should have been put onto a separate text box. Remember, if you can't contain... it's always... I don't know if I call it a pet peeve, but it was always something that got on my nerves when there's so much dialogue in an RPG that it can't fit on a text box. Your text box should contain one single idea. And if your text has to bleed over into a different text box mid-sentence, you have to rewrite that dialogue box. Either shorten your sentence or break off one of the sentences that you had into another box. Either way, you really should not ever have a sentence bleed over into another text box. That's just... it really disrupts the flow of reading. Old Circuit's power grid is ancient tech, but at least blackouts keep Neurocore spyware offline. You don't want to go down that run? That run has got a history. 35 people have died going down it, and some say you can still see their ghosts up there. Sure. Dead is better. Are you okay, Ten? Are you having a moment? Is this your migraine talking? Is this 10 with a migraine happening right now? Those hackers at the Node think they're better than the corporations. They're just a bunch of nerds, if you ask me. Nova, I completely disagree with what you're saying. I just think you're nitpicking, blowing this way out. For those that are new here, welcome to the Nova chat experience. This is what it's all like. I try to say something and you all think you're just a bunch of clowns. Y'all think this is a circus and you're all the clowns. But no. I may be the ringmaster here, but you all are... Stupid Nightbot ruined my moment. And that is exactly why. You know what? You say Nightbot ruined your moment. I think Nightbot just proved my point. Man, it's great to be right. I love being right so much. Oh, it feels so good, especially when I can be proven right live on stream. Those hackers at the Node think they're better than the corporations. They're just a bunch of nerds, if you ask me. Well, yeah. I never understood why nerd was seen as an insult. It was like, oh, yeah, God forbid you find something that you want to devote so much of your life to. God forbid you find something you're passionate about. That's what being a nerd is. What's the code word? Tell him it's a rocket. Do we trust Eden? Do we trust Eden with this? Let's not trust Eden with this. Pocket. It's a no-go. Riley, why? Alright. Oh. Okay. I feel like that's a missed opportunity to put in something a bit more flavorful than just why. Yeah, not enough people call car guys what they really are. Car nerds. You just rename it and try and make it sound different. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ah, the Node. My home away from, well, everywhere. You hackers really lean into the stereotypes. Last door in the corridor, next to the safe, used to be my booth. Wow, she had her own booth. You think you can hack into the Matrix and give this woman the top of her head back? I would appreciate that. I'm sure she would too. Can someone reboot the coffee machine? It's trying to... I remember just like sitting at this line being like, this is probably my favorite line of this whole, of all the flavor text. It's like, we all need to remember this. Remember this line right here when the robot uprising begins. We could have stopped this. All we had to do was just stop the coffee machines from unionizing. You don't want to trust Nightbot. I knew 3 teens who went camping and got live streamed their trip. Nightbot didn't give them a notification that chat was trying to warn them of the evil bear of the Wakashushu tribe. Mauled those teenagers dead, and now their spirits roam the woods as we speak. Yep, sometimes dead is better. I think you need to take some more pills, Ten. Just take some more painkillers. I think you need them. Sprite glitch, game disqualified, basically unplayable. No, well, I mean, what I'm trying to say, guys, you know, Benny loves to make fun of me all the time. Be like, wow, Nova's so harsh. Nova's so harsh. I look at stuff like this, I'm be like, you know what? I can overlook that. Besides, on the rubric it said that minor details, minor bugs are expected and will not be penalized. Details matter? Yes, you're right, details do matter. But when the core of the game is good enough, I can overlook some small stuff like this. You hear that, Benny? I'm not that harsh! Sorry, I don't know what came over me right there. Anyway, I love this line. That's all I want to say. Can someone reboot the coffee machine? Is trying to unionize again. It just makes me laugh. Benny Hill, you know which Benny I'm talking about. The judge, Benny. Yeah, you guys don't see what happens in the judge chat. Everyone likes to make fun of me for being so harsh. Yeah, Benny's another judge for the jam. Benny Makes Games, who I believe was streaming back when I started doing this. I don't know if he's still streaming right now, but yeah. But yeah, Benny's all like, "Oh, Nova's so harsh. Nova's so harsh." Wait, hold on. How do I do a New Zealand accent? Nova's so harsh. Okay, that sucked. I can't do that. I was watching him before I came over here. Yeah. I bet you he was saying all sorts of things behind my back, wasn't he? Oh wow, Nova's so harsh. Yeah, talking mad shit. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he does that in the chat too. And you have no idea if I'm lying or not because you just have to take my word for it. You know I wouldn't lie to you guys, right? I only tell the truth. Covered in cryptic notes, outdated tech memes, and a wanted poster for someone called Brostaman. Brostaman. I'm gonna pretend that that's just a reference to something. Who took my Cyber Slayer Volume 3? Confess, or I'll leak your browsing history. Oof. Oh, this guy's serious, isn't he? I guess he doesn't know about incognito mode. Neurocore's firewall is no joke. It practically hacks itself. Anyone got a spare identity lying around? A fridge covered in stickers from hacker conventions, bars, and ramen shops from distant places like Neo Berlin and Cyber Seoul. Clogged sink with a faded note. No dumping, coffee grounds, or corporate secrets here. Seriously. You don't look up porn without going into incognito mode. Yeah, exactly. A safe. It's locked. Sup? Sup? It's locked. Whoa, that's Eden's spot you're eyeing. Off limits unless you're one of us. House rules, dude. I'm here on her behalf. Kind of literally. Hi. That's quite the AI you've got there. Yeah, you know, AIs these days. Wink. Anyway, you gotta give me a bigger reason than that. Talk to me once you've got your ideas sorted. Ideas sorted? What could that possibly mean? So, why do you want access to Eden's booth? We are serious about access to our stuff. It's time to use your concepts, Riley. Fill the following sentences with the right words from your concept list to convince Zero that you're doing it for a worthy cause. Who's talking right now? Kind of weird that we're not using. It's kind of weird that we're not using Eden as a tutorial stand-in. Riley, Eden's gonna draw pictures for my TPG Maker game. Oh, RPG Maker game. Okay. Yep. Alright, we don't really need tutorial. This is just, have you ever played Mad Libs? Yeah, there you go. As read in the question mark, blah 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 was killed by an implant that was later removed by the blah blah blah, probably because blah 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 has found incriminating evidence against blah blah blah. So what's the first one? Autopsy. As read in the autopsy, Eden was killed by an implant. Okay, yeah, that's Eden. By an implant that was later removed by the what? What could that be? A hitman. Probably because what had found incriminating evidence against blah. And then here's where things get a little odd. The way my brain works is that once you choose a concept, you can't use it anymore. It's like every concept only goes into these slots once. And so I was like, it makes sense to be Eden, but that doesn't. But does that mean that you can't really? You can't use any. Is there anything else that could fit? And I failed a couple more times than I wouldn't like to admit, because I was like, oh yeah, I guess you can reuse these. Yeah, it's found incriminating evidence against blah. Though I do kind of wonder what the point of this whole section is, because this was the first and only time that this kind of mechanic is ever used. I was like, oh, okay, so I guess maybe you ran out of time? I don't know. Like maybe you wanted another section of this, and I guess you just didn't have time to finish that? I was like, all right, sure. Neurocore did what? Eden didn't deserve that. Here's your key card. Go inside and make us proud. Though I'm glad that a hacker definitely takes me at my word. But all right, sure. We're just not going to question that. And here we go. Home sweet home. Hey, BB Gamba. Thank you so much for dropping by. How you doing? Hey, Nova. Finally, I catch you live. Just wanted to say thank you for highlighting Beyond. I made it for my girlfriend, and your review meant the world to her. Also, we are loving your streams. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that's great to hear. But yeah, Beyond was a really nice and relaxing game. So thank you for making it. Yeah. That's really nice to hear that you made it for your girlfriend. And that's great. That's great. Yeah. I'm glad you guys are liking the streams, though, too. Yeah. You hear that, guys? Everyone else? I love that. Yeah, me too. That's such a wholesome story behind that. I love hearing those kinds of stories. All right, home sweet home. All right, plug Eden into the terminal. In you go. But yeah, stick around. We've got a lot more interesting games that I want to show off. All right, information incoming. This is definitely my realm. Wait, is that road leading where I think it's leading? Living Me was paving the way to Neurocore server, wasn't she? You are getting my Prime tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's move. Okay, what are we doing here? User Eden, blacklisted. Well, I think we know what's going to happen next. So what do we got here? Neurocore. Blacklist. Oh, it's a PDF file. All right, what do we got here? Okay, Neurocore Technologies, security blacklist, confidential internal document, do not distribute. You guys get that? Don't you be posting this anywhere else. The good thing there won't be a permanent archive that has this document shown anywhere. The following individuals are identified as active threats to Neurocore network security and corporate confidentiality. Immediate monitoring and restrictions on all associated accounts and digital activities are mandatory. Oh, number 1, Eden. Unauthorized data extraction, repeated breaches of Neurocore security protocols. Well, alrighty then. Oh, Zero, that's the guy that allowed us in here. Frequent attempts to disable Neurocore implant restrictions. Distribution of classified Neurocore data through darknet channels. Valley F. Ooh, for Valley Forge. Okay, I get that reference. Social engineering and spear phishing attacks targeting Neurocore staff. No shade. Sabotage and misinformation campaigns on public Neurocore channels. Maintain active surveillance on all listed individuals. Immediately restrict access to Neurocore systems upon identification. Of course, yeah, that is weird. Like, granted, I'm not working in cybersecurity, but I am working for a big corpo. That's my day job. And I'm just like, I mean, you don't even need to work for a big corpo to know, like, you shouldn't have... If you can identify these people, you should probably just go ahead and pursue them, you know, to the full extent of the law, right? Also, that's their alias and not their actual name? Huh. I guess, you know, Riley and Eden aren't as good of friends as we thought if Riley doesn't even know what Eden's real name is. Not that it matters. Eden is just, you know, cyber dust now. Maintain active surveillance on all listed individuals. Immediately restrict access to NeuroCore. Yep. Report any sightings or digital interactions directly to NeuroCore Cybersecurity HQ. Failure to comply with these instructions will result in disciplinary action. Unauthorized access, disclosure, or deletion will result in severe legal consequences. Uh-oh. Again, sure hope you guys don't ever spread this to anyone. So, does this mean... Does this look... Are we looking for the blacklist document? Okay, then how about we do that? Bypassed. Boom. Nice. Whoa, data overload. Okay, deep breath. Wait, I don't breathe. Focus. NeuroCore. Those bastards. I found proof they were deliberately sabotaging implants, extracting private data, spying on people, even hijacking minds. Now that's what I call a scumbag move. Yeah, no wonder they killed me. Now that I live in the digital realm, I can go there and expose them. It's time to finish this. Oh, I can't interact with that. I do like that I'm overloading with information and power. It's like I'm going to go even further beyond, or whatever. Oh, okay. Oh, look, it's a dragon. Unauthorized access detected. Identify yourself. Hi, remember me? You mess with my head, literally. Eden, your neural signature is marked as eliminated. You should not exist. Oh, battle time. Boy, I sure hope you guys remember to check Eden's stats. Because if you didn't, oh boy, this fight's not gonna be great. You know what? I actually never defended in this fight. Let me try that. Just see what happens. Nope. Okay, yeah. Because that's it. All right, let's just smack you. Yep, that's what I thought. Accessed, authorized. The only thing that I'm kind of sad about is that was a very generic monster death sound. We're in cyberspace. Shouldn't that have a more like digitized effect to it? Granted, most hacking systems don't involve fighting dragons, but hey, even if we're operating on, you know, Battle Network rules, Mega Man Battle Network rules, you know, we can try something else, right? Did you hear? NeuroCore got hacked. Everything leaked. Corporate sabotage, mind control, the worst of the worst. Guess I should get a refund for my implant, huh? Yeah, that's your big concern, getting a refund, not get the implant out of my head. Search the net and tell me, is it true NeuroCore is going down? Yes, privacy violations, human rights crimes, and corporate espionage. NeuroCore finally crashed and burned. Anyone know who's behind it? Whoever it was, I owe them a drink. You literally let the person in to do that, but alright. Now, if only we can do something about giving that woman the top of her head back. I think that'll be the hacker's next endeavor. Hey Nova, are you familiar with the term Schadenfreude? Yes, I am. Looks like you really did it. NeuroCore's finished. Also, how was your jog, Ozzy? Hope it was nice. Hey, not bad for a dead girl and her unemployed friend. Want to have some schadenfreude? I mean, I already do every time you come in, because I tripped and fell during my jog. Nah, that seems about right. Depending on how hard you were pushing yourself on your jog, yeah, I could see that happening. Definitely not because I've done that once. More than once. Yeah. Hey, not bad for a dead girl and her unemployed friend. So, what's next? First, enjoy the fireworks. Then we'll see what else needs breaking. Anyone remember that hitman? Wonder what happened to him. Don't get involved. Death is worse than what's good awaiting for you if you come in. And then we just go in and we just beat the game. Yeah, that definitely screams we ran out of time. Because that plot point was just completely dropped halfway through. Whoops. But you know what? A couple of reasons why that doesn't bother me. I mean, yeah, it bothers me, but it doesn't bother me so much that I would want to knock this game too much on presentation or engagement. One, the rest of this game is really good. And sometimes, when you're working on a jam game, you realize that you're running out of time. You're like, oh crap, we got to make some last minute adjustments. Because let's be real, you're not going to be able to put in everything. In fact, it's a sign that you've got a lot of great ideas if you have to leave a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor. In fact, I almost expect that, honestly. Like, if you're not leaving anything on the cutting room floor, either you've nailed your game's design in one go, or you were struggling for ideas, and you were willing to grasp at straws to push something in. I won't name certain names, but I have played some games in this jam that definitely did that. They just tried to throw a whole bunch of ideas at once, rather than develop the ones that we already had. So, I think this game did the right thing. Yeah, not everything was properly resolved, but sometimes you just have to cut things in order to tell the story that you want to tell. And hey, maybe there'll be an expanded version later that integrates that plot. I'll be there if it does. Thank you for joining Riley and Eden on their ride. Art is never finished, only abandoned. I don't know. I think that depends. There's only so much stuff that you can put in before you start over-designing. Right? Because then you're like, okay, well, here's a game about a guy going to a store. Okay, but then let's put some obstacles for a guy to go through on his way to the store. Okay, now let's put an optional side quest that takes place in a whole different area away from the store that was never part of the scope. Oh, and then we'll have a whole other quest aside from that in that other area that players don't need to go to. Eventually it gets too bloated. And I think a game with too much bloat is just as frustrating as a game with not enough content. Sometimes you just have to make sacrifices, you know. The clock keeps ticking. And sometimes you have to realign. You have to readjust your sights. And for what it's worth, I think this game did that very well. Drop the plot with the hitman and just focus on doing what you need to do. Besides, what's here is still good. There's enough variety in the gameplay that that wasn't disengaging. I wasn't never disengaged. I was locked in the whole time. That first time when the game mandated a shutdown and came back, I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm locked in. I want to see what you've got. And you know what? It's always worth remembering that as a judge, I'm only allowed to spend 1 hour with the game. You can have a whole bunch of awesome stuff in a 4 to 5 hour game, but guess what? That part's not going to be anything past that first hour is not going to be part of the factor in the score. So I was able to beat this under an hour, and I was able to see everything in conclusion. And that helps me paint the entire game, help me paint the entire picture of the game. And that helps me a lot when it comes to the judging process. I just popped in, but sadly it's quite late here in Spain, so I gotta pop out. We'll be watching the VOD religiously though. Have a good one, everybody. Hey, no problem. Thank you so much for dropping by, BB Gamba. Now, wow, that's... Yeah, definitely. You gotta prioritize your own health first. I really do appreciate you dropping in and sending that nice message. Yeah, get some sleep. Hope you have a good one. But yeah, joining riding on the ride. Brought to you by D Dreams Games and Friends. Nice. Original music by Gita. Oh wow, I wonder how much of this music was original. I don't recognize it. Check out the credits folder for all attributions and more. If you see any work of your game and uncredited, please accept our apology and contact us to be credited. I forgot about that. I definitely forgot about this line right here. Why did I not make a note of that? Hang on. Ah, shit. Yeah, I didn't make a note of that. Yeah, that's not good. That is unacceptable. Get your... Don't... Why? Why would you even put this clause in here? If you see any work of your game uncredited, please accept our apology and contact us to be credited. Yeah, that means you're not doing your Fuck, man! Oh, I'm actually kind of mad now. I'm actually kind of mad now. That just means you didn't do your due diligence. Because what if you used an asset in here that they didn't want to be used for commercial purposes, which is going to be a thing if you happen to win an award. Holy shit. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring that up. I'm actually more mad at myself than anything else. Because, fuck, I meant to do that. Alright. Yeah. What happened? Sorry, I missed it. Wait, what happened? Yeah, so the game had a line that said, thank you for playing this game. If you had... Wait, let me zoom in here. Check the credits folder for all attributions and more. If you see any work of you in the game and uncredited, please accept our apology and contact us to be credited. That is... yeah, that's a no-go, dog. That's gonna be a no-go for me, dog. Yeah, if we use your asset... Yeah, if we stole your assets by accident, whoops, my B. Oh my god. Fuck! Come on, man. Why? Why do this? Do your due diligence when you're searching for assets. Alright, well, you know what? Let me check the credits folder, because I definitely remember this not being as huge of a deal as I originally thought. Hang on, let me check this. Credits. Yeah, like this, this credit list, this does not tell me a lot, frankly, because you're just showing a bunch of stuff that actually doesn't really matter. Because not everything on here is going to make it to the credits list, right? Because, like, how do you know the license of the, like, if you're using someone else's art assets? Like, how do we know which art assets that you're using? Fuck, man. Do your due diligence when you're collecting assets. That's like one of those, this gives the same energy as those, like, reaction videos on YouTube. Where it's like, hey, if you're using your assets, like if I reacted to your video and you don't want me reacting to it, let me know and I will take it down. When they like freebooted your whole video and just like stared at it for a little bit. Like that's what it's giving me, this kind of vibe here. It's like, don't put the onus on the creators of those assets to be keep a constant eye on the internet. Just in case some random person out there takes their assets and use them in a Game Jam game. Don't do that. Holy shit. Oh, this pissed me off. Oh, this pissed me off so much. I can't believe I forgot all about this. I hated this. Yeah. That's what I thought. Which is a shame, because I really was having a good time right up until that point. Piss off! Stupid bots. I already have the best viewers. I've told you guys this all over and over and over again, yet you keep coming back thinking that I'm somehow going to be suckered into it this time. I already have the best viewers. You all right here. Well, fuck it. I'll do my due diligence and highlight the one thing that I wanted to point out. Nova is very angry. Yes, I am very angry. I don't know why it does this, but hey, when you click load after all this, yeah. Eden, aha, you said you hated this, and yet you're still here. No loading games for you. That's cute. Eden has a different message if you clicked confirm, and you try to load again. This is cute. I like this. Anyway, we're quitting that. All right, let me just make a quick note of this. I like how the one, like, I captured a screen that is unintentionally kind of funny, because it's like, hey, look guys, look at this text box. That's kind of funny, but all right. Hang on a second. Let me just do my due diligence here, and let me post this in the judges chat. Just got to get their input on this really quick. All right. Yeah. Can I spoil stuff for Nier Automata? If it were just a regular stream, I would say go ahead. I've already played Nier Automata. I recommend everybody here play Nier Automata, but I don't think that's a good thing to do when we're just doing that out of nowhere. Remember, there's going to be a lot of new people in here that aren't normally in here, so let's not spoil. I know the game's old enough that I think it would make sense, but yeah, I think let's just err on the safe side and not spoil these games. I had mixed feelings about that apology message because that credits list looks very extensive. I don't think that's a credits list. Like, I don't think that's something that the devs personally put together. I've seen that kind of credits list in all the other MZ or MV games that I've seen here. So yeah. I personally get the feeling of, what if we got something from this one site that was actually from someone else? I have a hard time believing that. Again, the asset in question is going to have to be called into. That would have to be handled on a case-by-case basis, but I know some of these assets are from like real asset packs that you can just buy off of like Steam DLC. So anyway, at this point, it's I put it up in the judges channel, and we're gonna have a talk about that. Yeah, it sucks, but well, do your due diligence, guys. This is not difficult. The idea of crediting people whose work you use is something that I feel like needs to be normalized. Like, we can't just... So, listen, around the time I first joined RPG Maker, the RPG Maker scene about like 10 years. Fuck, it's been 12 years now. Yeah, the idea of crediting people was, I don't want to say unheard of, but it definitely wasn't common practice. Especially because you guys got to remember, I came from a part, I started off when we were normalizing the use of sprite rips. So like we were using Chrono Trigger sprites or Final Fantasy sprites. So the idea that we would just take stuff and then just use it in our games was definitely not... It wasn't... I want to say it wasn't common practice, but yeah, it happened more often than anyone would care to admit. But that's not the world that we live in now. We want to support creators here. So the idea that you would put stuff in your work without credit, that ain't good, man. Like, how else is the artist supposed to get their name out there when the people that use their resources don't credit it? They'll have no idea what assets they're coming from. Yeah. Anyway. Let us do the next game that we had on our list. I won't spend too much time on this game because, again, this one actually was over. I couldn't finish this one in over an hour. So, it's one of those weird ones where I can only judge what I've played. So, it is a shame. So, here is the next game on the list. Bam. Exceed Excess. So we have, where is it? Submissions. You know, for all that talk about credit, I should probably put in the name of the person who made this game, shouldn't I? Alright, where is it? Let me go look that up really quick. Yeah, we don't really have... We aren't given these names. We aren't given the names of these devs when we're given the list. So the intent behind that was to try and get rid of as much bias as we could. Like sometimes some devs like have their own identity. So like we can tell right away what kind of game it is. Like as soon as I saw Attack on the Kingdom, remember, you guys know, like I knew right away whose game that was because I played several games by that person. But the attempt has to be made, you know. So because of that, I have to go look up the names of these devs. There you are. Exceed Excess by Dzac. That's the name. There we go. So, as you can tell, the title kind of gives it away. It's like, okay, this is a game that is definitely going to integrate Beyond Expectations into its theme. So, let us start up and just see what's going on. They say that God, in his shame, averted his eyes. That on the night of the bloodletting, he glimpsed the vastness of man's sin and could bear to look no longer. And thus, the devil turned his gaze on us instead. That night, the sun bled. The mountains tore open. The devil emerged. And the devil had 3 eyes and 3 mouths. With its first eye, it saw humanity in all their nakedness. With the second, it recognized their indiscretions. And with the third, it envisioned their demise. I don't think you need eyes to envision something, because that's something, envisioning is something that you do with your brain, but alright, sure. The first mouth cried out and cursed man and the earth they stood upon. The second gnashed its teeth and swore they would despair and die. And the third devoured them. But perhaps all is not lost. A boat, an island, a prayer. So this is one of those times where it's like, yeah, maybe it would have been better if you had a some kind of visual aid, because no one likes just a random black screen. And as you come to see, there are some good visuals in this game, which makes me wonder why they couldn't like put something into the intro. But all right. Have you ever seen sand so red? A blood shore on an isle of death, just as the elves foretold. For all the good it did them. That prophecy might still save us yet. If they couldn't save themselves, what hope do we have? Come on, we head inland. Alright, and then here we go. And look at that. First off, a good indicator of polish. We have walk and run animations. What hope have we? It said. Whatever. I can litter it. Alright? I can litter it. Okay, so quick little tip for UI. Never at any point should the UI cover up the game, which is exactly what it's doing right here. You can very easily fix this by increasing the size of the map so that the camera never gets pushed up to the edges of the map, and you will never have to walk underneath an element. I'll just go ahead and tell it to you guys right away. This is not a game with a turn-based battle system. This is very much an action game, which means that you have to constantly be aware of your surroundings. So the idea that you can be in a situation like this is not great. So tighten up your levels, either by reducing the amount of walkable space, or increasing the map size so that you can have a bunch of extra... fuck you, Ozzy. So that you can have a bunch of extra area for the camera to move. Alright, hang on. Yeah, there you go. But, hey, I like the style that you've got going on here. So, you know, bonus points for that. And in a highlight stream, when I say bonus points, I mean more of a metaphorical sense, not really in a judging sense. There is an obstacle in your path. He can break obstacles which display a green ring. Press the action key to damage the obstacle. Uh-oh, we've got some color coordination. We have color as a vital gameplay mechanic. Each action you take costs your character 1 energy point. These are displayed on the left of the screen. Hit the obstacle multiple times. That was a large one. It cost him 8 energy points. Not good. Keep going. Hold shift to run. Or don't, because if you have it always run in your options, then you don't have, that tutorial is going to be meaningless. Husband? What is it? I'm scared. Oh. I am too, but we have to keep going. There's nothing behind us. Can't you just hold me and tell me everything's going to be okay? I'm Pregante. Good to know, Ozzy. Good to know. You might want to get that checked out. I don't think I can. The world is ending. The elves are dead. We might be the last of humanity. But we're together, aren't we? We made it. We did. And we are. Until the very end of... No. Beyond the end. Of everything. We'll always be together. Always and forever. Our wedding vow. Not even the end of the world can change that. You're going to have to use your imagination here since, you know, there's no hugging sprite. They're just kind of awkwardly standing next to, like, close to each other. Yes, that's right. Let's continue then. Together. Press the C key to change characters. Don't know why they have to hit each other in order to take the lead, but yeah, that is a very weird choice of sound effect. And there's a hit effect on them too. Like, okay, I get the particle effect. Because, you know, you need some kind of visual indication that you're swapping characters. But why the punch sound effect? Boy, that's weird. You have received an energy potion. It can replenish a small amount of either character's energy. Press the I key to open the item menu. It's advised to use items sparingly. There are not many on the island. What's a little slap among lovers? Ozzy, how strong do you have to be to have that be just a slap? That is a full-on gut punch. It's the first sound in the database. I don't really like the low-key implication of the devs being lazy by saying that, because as you all are going to see, there's clearly a lot of effort put into that, but that is understandable. That is a weird... That's still a weird sound effect, though. Sound effect choice. What is that? It's a magic seal. Elven magic. Made to keep humans out. Great. Humans like us. Ha. Humans like you, maybe. I can break this. Just watch. What a wild tone shift between her being scared in the very last cutscene to getting kind of smug at this point. Kind of weird. His military training allows him to overcome obstacles with feats of strength. Meanwhile, her specialty is in complex spells and mechanisms. All right, we gotta do this. I'm sorry, we have to do this. This is a gameplay affecting choice based on colors. I've got to do this. I did not do this when I was judging, because I was just trying to get through it. But now that we're here, we can. I don't want to repeat the same thing that we talked about in Dead City. So go and look at the Dead City playthrough to see where I'm coming from when it comes to color matching. But the long and short of it is, if you're going to tie specific gameplay elements to colors, it's always worth pointing out, not everyone can see the full range of colors. This is blue and green, which means I'm not expecting much here. Yeah, red and green. Okay, so he is green, which means, okay, that's still distinct. That's good, that's good. And then trait Nobia. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, those are... Okay, if you look closely enough, yeah, they can look at... They can be different colors. But I want to point out... Okay, so you all don't know... Okay, take a look at this icon right here. And try to tell me which one does that belong to. Does that... If you have Traitoniopia, does that belong to him or her? Put your hand over the left part of the screen, and then try and guess just based on that. Yeah, that's... It's going to be a little rough. So, I'm assuming that the dev that's here is not going to be listening to the Dead City walkthrough. But, I covered basically the same thing here. And it's actually far more important that you get it right here in this game. Because unlike Dead City, which is a slow-paced adventure game, this game is much more fast-paced, requiring a lot more reflexes, and you're under a lot more pressure. So, it is far more important to get this right here. But I guess if you have Tritanopia, well then fuck you. So, again, the easiest, quick, and dirty fix, if you check this under grayscale, yeah, you can see that these colors are almost indistinguishable from each other. The quickest fix that you can do is have one of these colors be a drastically different shade. It's not good enough that you just differentiate them by using what's it called? The hue tool. You have to use the value tool and make one brighter or darker, because then, even with different color blindness levels, you can tell which one is which. Because if you look at this right here, yeah, you're just not going to know. When you have if you have like half a second to figure out which character needs to go where, then yeah, that's going to make a big difference. Not a lot of people keep this in mind, so I don't really knock anybody who doesn't keep that in mind because there's so few people. If I did the last statistic check yesterday, and it was like 4.5% of the world's population have some kind of color blindness, which granted, not a small amount. But of those 4.5%, even few of them are those that play video games. And of those, even fewer of them would play this game, just because they haven't heard of it. But I will still advocate for better color choices when you're, for accessibility purposes. You don't need a colorblind setting when accessibility is built into your core design. You'll notice in a lot of newer indie games, purple and yellow. Apparently, those two colors that stay consistent, different in color blindness. Ooh, I didn't know about those two. Okay, that's good to know. Thanks for sharing that, John Erico. I'll take a look at that. I'll run that through some filters and just see how that works out. I believe you. It's just I'd like to see it for myself. Anyway, her. Actually, wait, one more thing. Okay, I was going to say, like, you can, just to prove my point here, you can tell exactly how much energy he has left, no matter what colorblind setting you have, right? Because they're drastically different shades. You can do the same thing with the indicators of him and her. Okay, I'll move on. There was a dog barking in the background, and I'm not sure what's going on over there. Okay, moving on. Obstacles with interlocked green and blue rings can be overcome by either character. Okay, actually, hang on. I know I said I would leave this alone, but this is more for my own curiosity. Because now we have both these indicators on screen. Let's see how they both look when held up against the filter. Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, not so good. Not good at all. Yeah, and it's even more important to get this field icon right, because this is what's going to show on... This is what a player is going to be looking at when they're trying to figure out which character needs to go where. For me, it's hard to tell the difference even without the colorblind filter. Really, Ryan? Really? Huh. That's interesting to note. I have no problems telling the difference between the two. Blue and green are too close? Yeah. Okay, you know, these look a little... Okay, you can tell, like, they're different colors here, but remember, we're looking at this in a calm and collected environment. Now, the good news is, now I get that you want to have circles because there's a running motif in this game that's using circles. But the other way that you can tell, if you don't have to worry about color coordinating when the symbols themselves are different. So, you know, you don't have to have, like, you can have any kind of color blindness that you want. You can still tell the difference between a circle and a triangle, for example. I get that that's probably not the best idea to apply here because of the circle motif, but there are ways other than color that you can use to convey information. In fact, when you're designing games, it's probably best to think about how to differentiate things with symbols rather than color. Because if you do that, you won't even need to worry about colorblind settings. But if you are, then I'm going to keep looking at that. There we go. You know, I really do appreciate this, like, tutorial level. Also, hi, Rhyme. I don't know if I said hi to you. I appreciate this, like, slow-paced tutorial level. It's like, okay, players need to get this, they need to internalize these controls and commands very quickly. So it's best that we put them in a small, slower paced, controlled environment so that you can start layering on more pressure in later parts of the game. And then you won't have to overwhelm the player with too much. Also, don't think I missed that beyond expectations, like heavy-handed pushing the intro into the game. Pushing the theme into the game. Though some would say that humanity's defining trait may be their ability to exceed their limits. This gap is too far for them to jump. When they come up against the extremely difficult obstacle, they can enter up. You didn't have the font color here. They can enter a state that allows them to exceed their limits. Press the E key to exceed, then try tackling the jump. There we go, and then boom. Oh no, we just got a minor excess. Icons with a red background show that the use of exceed is needed, except for the fact that the one we just looked at did not have that. That's weird. Of all times to get that right, it has to be the first time, but whatever. But I don't know when this game will explain it, but we just contracted a minor excess. What in the world could that possibly mean? You can also use exceed to quickly remove normal obstacles as well. As well. That's one word for some reason. This may come in useful if you are lacking energy or time. This obstacle has a damage limit of 10, which means if you damage it normally, it will cost you 10 energy points. With exceed, it won't cost you anything and will be instantly removed. Try it now. And we just got another minor excess. Whenever you choose to exceed your limits, you are burdened with a minor excess. 3 minor excesses will lead to a major excess, which will affect your character in various ways. Use your ability to exceed sparingly. So, I don't think the game ever tells you this, but when you run out of energy, you will also get a minor excess. So, really, it actually is kind of not worth it to you to exceed, at least from what I can tell. It's not really worth it to exceed and blast your way through because that guarantees an excess. Whereas if you do it the normal way, you'll take a hit on your energy, but you won't get an excess. Also, yeah, little mapping errors right here and there. Nothing too bad. It's just up ahead. Are you ready? Not sure I could ever be. I ever could be, but let's go. Are you sure this is right, love? Yes. Through God's light, there appeared a tunnel which connected the heavens to the depths of the earth. That's how the elves describe this. Look up. Supposedly, there's a corridor leading right through heaven and earth at this exact point. And you think we can speak to him? I think we can. I don't have a good feeling about this. We have to try. Oh, great God. Hang on one second. Hey, I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that. That dog was getting really, really loud. I don't know if you guys could hear it, but yeah. Of course, right when I sit down, the dog just speaks up again. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a fight going on outside. I've been living here for a while, and every now and then some animals decide to, throw down. And it gets kind of ugly when it happens, but that's not what's going on this time. Luckily. Yeah. Okay, so. Yeah. The dev took Nova's advice. If you are not confident in your... Why is your message appearing on screen twice, John Erico? You think you're special? You think you have your chat message needs to show up on here twice? Oh, it must be part of the other overlay. Yes. Well, too bad. I took it away. The dev took Nova's advice. If you are not confident with your drawing, do a silhouette. I don't think the lack of I don't think the silhouette was due to lack of confidence. I think it was more just because it was less about the characters themselves and more about the journey that they were on. But hey, I mean, wouldn't be the first time that it happened. But yeah, that was, like, I drew that because that first title screen for Soul Sunder was because of my lack of confidence in my art. But, games do that. I don't know if anybody knows the 2014 entry Last Word. It's a really good game. You guys should check it out. The contest version of that, the characters were all silhouettes. And then for the Steam release, they actually got real portraits. But yeah, it's a good game. Everyone should go check it out. Last Word. Okay. We invoke thy name, Fulsair, and call thee down upon us. Come, appear unto thy mortal creations. That's not God. I remember I said out loud when I saw this, oh, that's not a God, that is a devil. Who's scurrying about up there? That's not God. Have the elves come back to World's End? But it can't be. The elves are all dead. Humans, then. Yes, it must be. Burn the world clean, and still they crawl from some dark place. So tell me, how did you find your way here, children of Ad? Go back. Not so fast. Oh. And there's another minor excess. No! Are you okay? He says as he goes to sit on air. Help me up. Let's get out of here. Children of Ad. Guess we'll see Bezos' face come back in a second there. Not that kind of ad. We made it. How do you feel? Something's wrong. Wow, I was about to say, we just came in contact with the devil. And all you have to say is, something's wrong? I think we got let off pretty well. Oh, no! We got ourselves a major excess. Her energy is decreased by roughly 1/3. She has been burdened with a major excess. When a character reaches 3 minor burdens, that's not correct. It's not burdens, it's minor excesses. They will be burdened with a major excess. Major excesses are permanent debuffs, which have a number of effects on the characters, such as slowing their movement speed or limiting their stamina, etc. Each character can have up to 5 major excesses. In the case that a 6th should be generated, the game will come to an end. Major excesses are unique to both characters. They can be removed, but only in very rare cases. Just want to point out, in my time with the game, I spent an hour with this game, I have not come across any instance of being able to remove a major excess. I think burdens are more fit than excesses. Kind of, yeah. But actually, burdens, I believe, are a whole different mechanic of this game, which I can show you later. So this really is it then. The end of the human race. We came to meet with God, and we found the devil instead. I'd say it doesn't get much worse than that. They say as they're all sitting on air. I get it. Like, I believe these are... I don't know what the... Lowe's? I think these are Lowe's sprites. I recognize this art style. But yeah, like, it's... Obviously, these were not custom by the dev. Or if they were, let me know, because that would be very impressive to make something that looks very similar to... I believe it's Lowe's. If someone correct me if I'm wrong here. But... yeah, there's only so many poses that come with it. Did Nova just install Twitch chat notifications? No, I have no idea where that's coming from. I honestly don't. Actually, you know what? Let me test something. There we go. I took out the... I'm not doing the stream manager thing on Twitch. I don't know if it was coming from Twitch itself or not. But yeah, I have no idea. I don't know where those notifications are coming from. Sorry about that. I'll look into how to turn those off. Excuse me. But I'm not you. Nope, I guess not. Then it might be an OBS thing. I don't know. You've never been one to give up, and you know more than anybody about all this. So you tell me, is there nothing we can do? People say that it was because God averted his eyes that the devil was able to attack the world. What's true for one might be true for the other. Perhaps God can't speak to us now because the devil is watching. We should make it look away. There's an elven legend that says the devil favors certain areas of the island, and the Scythe's eyes were drawn to the forest, the mount, and the volcano. And as he loved them so, a piece of his gaze was left behind. I cannot read. Sounds promising, but what does it mean? The elven legends are often surprisingly literal. It could be that the devil keeps his focus on those areas. Maybe there's something there that could draw its gaze, or otherwise blind it. Just long enough for God to get past it. Then we have a plan. Travel the island. Poke the devil in the eye. Save the world. Sounds easy enough. Well then, where do we start? And here we go. And at this point, the game just opens up. You can tackle these obstacles in any order. Now, I've only done 2 of these, because that's how long I had with my hour in this game. So, I'm just going to do the ones that I've already done, just to kind of talk about them. So, if you guys want to see the rest of these, you're going to have to go check out this game yourself. How's it going? It's going pretty well, Nawanda. How you doing? We just finished up another game, Eden Drive, so if you want to check that out, that'd be cool. Now we're doing the other game that I had on my list. Travel to the hunting grounds. And then here is the major excess menu. Here you can see all the active and inactive major excesses. During their journey, they can choose to shoulder each other's excesses. I love this mechanic. Because, yeah, that is exactly what a supporting couple would do. A husband and wife team, yeah, carry each other's burdens. And here, this was integrated into gameplay. I love this. Before every journey, you can use this menu to swap major excesses between him and her. Through careful management of the major excesses, you will be able to make the quests more manageable. The major excesses menu can only be accessed before departing from the camp. This is not true. You're going to come across save points every now and then where you can access this menu. I think this was the intention originally, but yeah, there are added save points later that you can do this. Try swapping major excesses now. Press the escape key to leave the menu. Okay, so insecurity. Her energy is decreased by roughly 1/3. Or fatigue. He moves slowly and can no longer run. That sounds awful. So let's see what's going on. Nausea. Potions will no longer affect him. That's not great. He will begin to black out. Okay, distraction. He loses energy each time the character is swapped. Myalgia. He can no longer break large objects. That's a big one. Ooh, really don't want to do that. But what's the burden? Oh, by the way, Rhyme, you said burden was a different mechanic? Well, there we go. Unspeakable shame. He has a secret. This burden will come into play later. And then terrible purpose. She has a secret. This burden will come into play later. Now, what are these circles on the right? I don't know. Well, we'll come across those later. So, insecurity. Energies decreased. They have different debuff from excess. Nice. Yes, every excess is... every major excess is unique. You can't get rid of them except in rare cases. But, like a true loving husband and wife couple, they can carry each other's burdens. Everyone's so secretive with their terrible burdens. Exactly. I mean, granted, you know, if you knew that some people were watching you, you wouldn't exactly open everything up to them, right? You have to wonder, you know, are these burdens a secret from the player or from each other? Anyway, I don't like the idea of her having 1/3 of her max health. So let's see if we can pass that on to somewhere else. Let's see. Potions will no longer affect him. I think that's worse, to be honest, than having 1/3 of your max health. Exhaustion, he will begin to black out. Let's do that one, and then we'll just have her be basically the party leader. All right, leave menu. So what happens when you're about to black out? Oh yeah, that looks weird. But hey, they're both very easily, you can move around, and that's what's important. How you doing, Valkyria? Okay, so we got to clear some brush away as best as we can. Remember, they all lose health, so we got to find the path of least resistance here. There we are. Because I don't want to use the exceed because that's immediately going to give me a minor excess. Doing good. Had my wisdom teeth, so now I'm chilling with RM streams. Ooh, sorry to hear that, but yeah. Glad you got him out. This tree is old and mighty. He gives it a little push, and the whole thing goes tumbling over. Oh, and we didn't even need to cost any energy for that. It's kind of weird. Alright, now, what do we have here? Oh, no! Is that a human? Does anything about this guy look human to you? Okay, sure, he's got arms, he's got legs, but look at those eyes, man. How can these people trust him? I mean, do you trust people with glowing red eyes? I don't think you should. Especially because we saw the devil have red irises. So anything with red eyes should immediately raise a few flags here. I was under the impression the rest of our kind was dead. So were we. We're glad to be proven wrong. As am I. Always good to have fresh game. Wait, what? Nah, eyes can be deceiving. Eyes are the gateway to the soul, everyone. You know, that's what they say, right? So, yeah, naturally, you want to have the expression of your eyes as leading as honest as possible. Welcome to the hunting grounds. Don't know why you had to yell that, but all right. Here, a welcoming gift for you. I trust I'll see you up ahead. Farewell. Well, that was odd. He forgot to take his meat. And what did he mean by fresh game? They have received a small energy potion. This potion restores a fraction of a character's energy. They have received a hunter's potion. There is no telling exactly what this potion can do. They have received a crystal leaf. This magic leaf allows the holder to speak to animals in their own tongue. All animals will be understood from now on. Then we just need enough lack of sleep to become an evil antagonist. Yeah, sounds about right. Sleep does bring out the lack of sleep does bring out the worst in us. Its stomach has been sliced open, seemingly without a care for the meat, which has been ruined by the stomach's contents. Okay, he has more health, so I'm going to go ahead and have him. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and there we're just like, okay, come on, buddy. Why? This is so very clearly just wrong. How did this make it into the final cut? Like, I guess if you're really not paying attention, you could walk right by it, but come on, you're the dev. Excuse me. How did you not notice this? Or maybe you did and just did not have time to like fix it properly. Because there is something to be said about the art style choice of having different colored grass represent different layers of, like help you elevate in your mind one level of elevation than the other. So darker grass on the bottom level, lighter grass on the top level. It's just the transition between the two that looks very suspect. Anyway. So where are we going? Ah, there we are. Alright, well, nobody has the minor excess right now. She has no major excesses, so I'm going to have her do it. There we go. Now she's got a minor excess. Oh, what do we have here? The water here is fresh and pure, unlike anything they've seen elsewhere on the island. No idea what we're supposed to do with that. Oh, look. That does not look right. Oh, boy. Yeah, if we can't go off the edges of the map here, definitely you want to put something here that naturally blocks us from touching the edges. Because my thought process, the way my brain works is that if you can touch the edges of a map, that tells me that this is a way forward. So not seeing this is very awkward to me. So there definitely needs to be some kind of obstacle here to prevent you from making contact with the edge of the map. Taking that, you have received a small energy potion. Yep. We jump up? No, we can't. Hello? I didn't mean to do that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. I did not come across this my first time through. Pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. But I'm not throwing out any more excesses to get out of here, so let's just move on. Ah. Oh, man. I have to go through minor excesses just to get through all this? It's doppelgangers. Ooh, no. Alright, where are we going now? Yeah, we're going up. Oh, hey, it's the hunter again. Ah, you made it. And just in time. Look up ahead. Not sure why the woman was facing the opposite direction of us before we all turned up, but alright, sure. This creature is rabid and needs to be put down. It doesn't look rabid. Looks can be deceiving, as they say. So, will you do the honors? Us? Why us? Let's just say I'd like to get your measure as hunters. So what do you say? Do we kill the rabid dog? I don't know. I'm interested in showing off more parts of the game, or at least exploring some parts of the game that I could not check later, during my hour. So, I will pick the option that I did not pick my first time through when I was judging. Excellent. Then show me what you're worth. I don't have a bow. Can you lend me yours? Ah, here you go. I don't know why I hit myself when trying to shoot, but alright. A good shot. A kill. The kind of kill I would have made once upon a time. I was a great marksman back then, before the war, before this island. When the war started, the game changed. I was no longer hunting birds and bears, but elves. And I was not hunting for meat, but for misery. I excelled in that, and I loved it. The huntsman, they called me. Not very original, but descriptive, I suppose. In that case, if that's a title, then the H should be capitalized. So revered was I, so feared that when I finally met the barbed sting of an elven blade, I was visited by God himself. Or perhaps it was the devil. He brought me here, gave me my very own hunting ground, and this bow. It's enchanted, so once fired, a bolt will not stop until it finds its target. Perhaps you've heard such a story? Mine is a little different though. These arrows do not seek to kill. They do not lodge in the heart. No, they find limb and muscle and artery. Oh, I loved hurting the elves, and I loved hurting these animals. But now I have you. Us? You can't hunt us. We're human, just as you are. Truth be told, I haven't been human for some time. Gee, what was the first giveaway? Was it the glowing red eyes? I never would have guessed. So run along, little rabbits. Try find me, but trust my arrows shall be swifter. So that's interesting, because that scene played out a little differently when I played it the first time. And we have no dialogue when examining the dog. Oh, yeah, he's shooting at us now, so we gotta book it now. We don't have time to meander around. Oh no. I don't think I was supposed to be here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's definitely not right. Oh, also, yeah, she's getting hurt. Large energy potion. Yeah, I remember. I remember that happening my first time through. It was like, yeah, there was a weird little glitch that let me bypass certain parts of the game by accident. But that's the nature. That's the nature of these kinds of competitions. Sometimes when you're in a rush to get things out, it just doesn't work out. Help! This must be another one of the Huntsman's games. He's a sick man. Well, let's give him a minor excess. Free the animal. Help my friends. So, how nice do we want to be in this playthrough? Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and... Oh, yeah, by the way, opening the menu doesn't pause the game. Whoops. So, yeah, you gotta be pretty quick with your menu navigation. Let's put you back. As soon as we see an arrow, let's switch back up. Switch back over to him to tank the blow. Yeah, see, I was supposed to use an excess to jump across here, but apparently I can just exploit mapping effects. And if you really don't want us to do that, hang on, let me click out of the game so that I'm not triggering the hunter arrows. So if you really want to convey the fact that I have to jump across this, use a little shift mapping and put the edges of the water running right up against the cliff's edges. Because without that, yeah, that looks very weird. I'm just like, why can I not just walk right through here? No, you gotta do some shift mapping. Okay, back to the game. Ah! That was a cheap shot, Huntsman. Very cheap shot. Okay, so I managed to get through here by accidentally going across glitches. So let's see if I can do this legit now. Oh, look at that. There's a little place I can hang out in here. Oh, that looks so weird. Okay, I'll be taking that energy potion. You have received a tattered note. Who wrote this and why was it left here? I did not see this. Okay, not gonna read the note. Alright, sure. Alright, let's do this. Minor excess. Snort. Careful, Snort. This whole area is trapped. Only one path through, Snort. Well, thank you. Oh. Okay, yeah. So, oh, well. Not sure what the... Alright, fine. I'm just going to run through it. Oh, there we go. There's the major excess. He moves slowly. No longer run. Ah, crap. Alright. Wait, please don't. What is this? Another one of the Hunter's sick games? He calls me Animal Door. You have to open me to go through. But it hurts me. It hurts me so bad. He wants us to cut you open to pass? But there's another way. Look, just over there. You don't have to cut me open. Please don't. So, either I can have one of them expend some energy to open up the monkey, or I can have him gain a minor excess to exceed and then go through here. Well, he's already been cleared, so we might as well do that. In we go. Snort. Not many make it this so far, avoiding the hunter's arrows, passing the animal door. Bypassing the animal door, they are kind as well. But now you are in the hunter's lair. He is just up ahead, past the water. Is the hunter shooting you off screen? Yes, that's exactly what's going on. It's just up ahead, past the water. Water stained red with our blood. All our blood. You know what he does? Squeak. He kills us all. But that's not all. He does it over and over and over again. Every one of us dies multiple deaths. You mean he brings you back to life just to kill you again? How does he do that? It's not elven magic. Not elven, no. Just the magic of God's Island. There are crystals that grow from the earth. They have life-giving properties. Life-giving crystals? We could save humanity with them. Not so, not so. Snort. They only work in this forest, grown for the hunter's cruel gain and no other reason. He's a monster. Yes, nyek, nyek, nyek. And monsters must be slain. When you meet him up ahead, kill him. Kill him for us. Then we'll take his corpse to the crystal ground. We'll have our revenge. Yes, revenge. We'll have many revenges, time and time again, just as he has done to us. Will you help the animals in their quest for revenge? If yes, they will grant you a boon that removes one major excess. Oh, there we go. Animals may also appear and offer you aid in other areas. But by promising this, you must deliver, otherwise you'll be punished with a major excess. If you refuse, you may not gain the award, even if you change your mind later and go through with this. By agreeing and following through, you also gain a burden of blood, which may affect the way your character acts later in the story. By refusing, you will avoid gaining the burden of blood, but you will not receive any additional rewards and animals will not help you in your quest. Once again, I'm going to choose the choice that I did not pick when I played through this for judging. Snort. Thank you. Yes, nyek, nyek, nyek. Deliver us his corpse. You don't need to know the rest. Well, it's a shame I didn't lose my major excess right away. Alright, let me just go ahead and heal here. Alright. Oh, yep, okay, Hunter's still around. Thou shalt not judge. Hey, D7, welcome in. How you doing? Hey, man, I'm just trying to avoid all the excesses. So this is the part that I really do enjoy. So I wish I could see all the... Okay. I wish I could see all the... I wish Nova was more It seems Nova was more psycho in Junction. What do you mean more psycho? I wasn't helping them get revenge. That's a good thing. Because I wasn't going to participate in the mindless slaughter. What do you... Wait, you saying that's not being psycho? Is he fit to judge is the question mark? Is the question? I am absolutely fit to judge. By virtue of it's me saying so, and I'm always right. The mill isn't turning. It seems to be gummed up with stiff dead rods. I have no idea what that's all about. Ooh, I can jump in. They reach to the broken window and receive small lockbox. Small box, locked tight. Something is rattling inside. They will need a way to open it. Soothing balm. Oh, a rare salve that may ease their burden. Removes one minor excess. That's excellent. And a large enemy potion. Okay, gonna be taking that. Yeah. Alright, cool. Can I do anything with this? Nope. Okay. What does the crystal leaf do? Oh yeah, it lets me communicate with animals. Alright. Bruh. Just go ahead and give her a potion. But no, I am an amazing judge. And I will judge anyone who tries to tell me otherwise. I should have had him do it, because he's not going to be running around a lot. So he'll probably just be the excess mule that we can deal with right now. Right. No! Oh. Whoops! I thought I was... Alright. Oh, whoops, I did the exceed rather than change. Okay. 1/3 max health gone. Oh, for no reason too, because I thought I could make it past that. I thought I could make it past that gap. I was trying to walk through here, but I forgot that's not how that worked. Hunter is cheating. I saw that arrow curve. Nope, that's not cheat. Hunter said that his bow has a curse or a enchanted, which means that all arrows will always find their mark, no matter what. The only stipulation is that those arrows do not strike vital points. So that's why I'm never going to die unless I get hit enough times. But yeah. Can you ruin the run by accumulating too much major excesses? That's the whole... Yeah, that's the whole mechanic of this game. Once I get... I think it's like 6 or 5 major excesses. Once I get the 6th one, that's game over. If any one character gets... too many major excesses, that's an instant game over. Yeah, that is what... Yeah, these energy bars are not life. They are energy. So when it reaches 0, I get a major... I think it's a major excess. Or it's either a major or minor. I can't remember which one. But yeah, that is the whole health system. Just as soon as I can remember where the hell I need to go. Come on, buddy. Come on, memory. Can't be that bad. I've done this before. Come on. But yeah, like, games like these are why there really should not be... Well, I don't want to say there shouldn't be, but the idea that by default you have to hold shift to run is insane to me. Because that's, yeah, because, like, you need to get from point A to point B very quickly. And, yeah, so... And by the way, this running speed, this walking speed is slower than my default walking speed if I were to hold shift. Feels like the game discourages exploring. Well, remember, this is just one part of the game. Every section that oh, here we go. Like, every section of the game has their own gimmicks. So what we have here is not going to be representative of the whole experience. Yeah, there we go. So I wouldn't say that the whole game discourages exploration. This just happens to be a pressured section of the game. where you're under pressure. Not every game needs to be like constantly explorable at all times, you know? Okay, let's check out the excess menu. So yeah, every character has unique set of excesses. So one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 major excesses. Once one character gets a 6th major excess, game over. That's just how health works. Okay, he will begin to black out. He moves slowly and can no longer run. I don't like that. Hazards deal double damage to her. She will begin to hallucinate. Yeah, let's see, he loses energy each time the character is swapped. I don't like that. He moves slowly and can no longer run. Yeah, we gotta get rid of that one somehow. Let's see. She will begin to hallucinate. She will no longer break magic seals. I don't think we have to worry about that one in the upcoming area. So, yeah, let's do that. Menu. And then let's save, just in case. Okay, last up, let's do an energy potion. Okay, I'm good now. Let's do this. Boss time. Also kind of weird that I'm still getting the rain sound effect when it is very clearly not raining. Well, I applaud you for getting so far. Not many have. But the thrill of the hunt only goes on so long before it becomes impatience. I'm sorry to tell you so, but your journey is over and you are the last of your race. That last shot before extinction, I've always wondered how that would feel. Do you ever stop talking? We'd rather you just shoot than yammer on. Don't you agree, love? I do, and you always articulate such thing better than I can. How sweet. I'll bury you together. Alright. So I have a few problems with this, which I will see if I can get to. But yeah, I have to do this, and then I have to force myself to exceed in order to free these animals. But I also have to attack this guy, which burn up. Well, there we go. There's a major excess. That's in the vertical. She can no longer jump over the gaps. Okay, fair enough. Oh, fuck. Yep, got another minor excess. Which means I really am severely discouraged from you. Up there you go. I was really discouraged from going to grab the to free the animals, because why would I want to do that? You know. Oh yeah, by the way. 2 large energy potions. Bad design right here. Bad level design. You are literally hiding an explorable path underneath a UI element. Don't do that. Just don't do that. And there's no other way. You can't jump the gap either. So let me just tell you right now. I'm wondering why the attack animation shows the hit on you. What do you mean the attack animation? The change character animation? Yeah, that's weird. What's that? Why won't you fight? Wait, is that a... Oh, shit, that's a choice? By just not doing anything with him? Interesting. I meant when you were attacking the boss. I think it was attacking... I think it was showing the animation on him. It was just... We were so close together that it may look like it. I'll have to double check that VOD, but I'm not sure that's what happened. So, what was I going to do? So here's the thing. Just a little bit of feedback to the dev here. When I first played through this game, I was trying to take the morally correct route. And I did not take the animals deal. But when I was going through, I was trying to free them. And freeing them did nothing for me. Which sucks. Because you know what happened there? Both my characters wrapped up a shitload of major excesses. And it made the next area basically unbeatable for me. So, all 4, no real noticeable effect. Because when I freed these animals, granted, I didn't get to freeing all of them. Because I realized I was racking up excesses, so I had to change directions mid-fight and just go after the hunter. And when you do that, I feel like I was unfairly screwed over by major excesses. Because I was trying to do the right thing, and for no real discernible benefit. Especially because I haven't figured out how to remove any major excesses other than the one that comes when you take the animal's deal. Now, whether that's intentional or not, I'm going to leave that up to the dev to discern or decide. But that was my experience. And I was frustrated by the fact that I was trying to help these animals, which I can only help by getting a minor excess, because I have to use Exceed to get them out. So I freed one of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minor excesses. So that's 1 major excess and 2 minors. And that just was not worth it to me. And that's assuming that the hunter never lands any other hits on you, which obviously he will. So that's the math isn't mathing there. And this is 1/4 of the way through the game. I have no idea what was up waiting for me the next time. I think it would have been better if you just took out the animals. Or if you reduce the number of animals here so that maybe 1 or 2 of them could have some immediate effect on the boss. But whatever. So let's fulfill our end of the deal. The hunter lies dead and broken. Clearly not, because he was talking shit about me up to this point. Will you give his corpse over to the animals or cast it into the abyss? Well, we're going to honor our deal. Give him over. Grr, he will come with us. Yes, with us to where the life crystal grows. With us to where he shall be bound. With us to where he shall be eaten and revived, and then eaten again, and again, and again, and again, forever. Amen. It's nice to see everybody just coming together for a nice little bonding exercise, you know? Oh, that doesn't look intentional. Anyway, what's up, pig? You have kept your word, and all the animals of the forests thank you. Snort. There's no asterisk around the snort, so I'm assuming that the pig is actually saying the word snort, rather than snorting. Take these gifts, though they do not repay our debt of gratitude. They receive 2 large energy potions, restore a moderate amount of energy. Soothing balm, removes 1 minor excess. Ease of mind, use this to remove 1 major excess. This can only be done in the excess menu. Search for us on your journey. We shall aid you where we can. It's the devil. No, it's not. It's just an aspect of it. What does that mean? It's like it left a little bit of itself behind. It still lives, but it's not the same thing. But can it see us? I think so, but perhaps not clearly. I think it would be like if you cut off your hand, but instead of losing all connection with it, you could still faintly feel whatever it touched. But leaving it in another place, and you might not be able to identify the feeling. Does that make sense? No. But it doesn't matter now. Can it see us or not? Yes, maybe, but not directly. So what should we do? We have to close it. That way the devil will lose the connection with it, but that should also affect its main body. Didn't you say you did not find out how to remove major excesses with judging? Yeah, that's because I didn't take the animal's deal last time. I didn't take the deal, so I never got any kind of way to remove a major excess. Does it even have a body? Look, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. Gods and devils don't exactly operate by human rules. I believe that if we shut this projected eye, it should affect the devil as a whole. It would be like it suddenly got sand in its eye. Sand in the eye, I understand. Let's do this thing. Something has changed in my forest. I don't see my huntsman anymore. Is he dead then? No, not dead. Killed and revived, endlessly tortured. Glorious! And you, Children of Odd, I see you. You who made this happen. I bestow upon you a gift. And there's the burden of blood. The gift of uncontrollable bloodlust, one you have earned. Will you do it? Here goes. Well, we did poke it. We poked it really hard. With an arrow that doesn't look like it actually made contact with the eye, because it just stopped one tile under. And there we go. That is exceed/excess. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it here. Can I save? I'd like to take a look at what this burden of blood is. That was good? Yeah, and you know, this is just the start. There's 3 whole other areas. And who knows what else beyond this. So, yeah, that's why I highlighted this. I think this game has some great ideas. This was really interesting. Yeah. This is Brent Rawson's game. I don't know who Brent Rawson is, but the person on the game page is Dzhak. D-Z-H-A-K. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah. I can see this game getting a fan base. I think so too. So we got... Hey, Nerd Mansion! Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for the raid. How you doing, man? What were you up to? But yeah, so that I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. Again, I encourage everybody to play this game. Unfortunately, so my time with this game consisted of the Hunting Grounds and then Hot Rock and Sons. I did not do the Cold. I did not do Bloodshore. I have no idea about these other parts. You know, it could... Wait, let me just check something real quick. Was Bloodshore the tutorial? Because I'm pretty sure that's where we started. Oh. Yeah, I guess Bloodshore was the tutorial area. Okay. Well. Then I guess the Cold is the other one that we did. But yeah. Once again, I still highly recommend this. Can I go to camp? Please? I'd like to look at my access menu. Aw. That's a shame. Can I go in here? Is there a... Ah, there we go. Okay, so burden. Burden of blood. This burden sits heavy in their hearts. They may act impulsively and with violence. So who knows what kind of mechanic, how this will change the story. I have no idea. But it definitely encourages a lot of replay value, because if you think you can make it through without getting all these burdens, if you can do it without succumbing to vengeance, who knows what that will change. I have zero idea. And unfortunately, that's kind of the problem with my position as a judge. I'm never going to know if I just play that 1 hour, because, you know, this game is far longer than an hour. And so I can't judge how well the game embraces its theme, because I can't play to the end. It's a real shame. But I'm only... I have 85 games I have to get through for round 1. I just don't have time to play more of a game. So if they think it's unfair, well, time management, and you guys knew that judges can only play 1 hour of a game going in, so again, I can't judge parts of the game that I didn't play. So if the dev may get hurt by, you know, any judge scoring it lower than what they thought they did, well, that's not much we can do about that. I think that's why there's a big difference between, you know, popularity votes and judges' picks, because again, judges can only play 1 hour of a game. And it really sucks, because I really wanted to see what this game had to offer. But I just can't. I have to move on. Also, we're racking up the excesses. which oddly enough, like this is still this was fewer excesses than I had when I first played this game. So once again, I encourage you all to go and check this game out, play it, form your own opinions. Better yet, leave some feedback on their page. Let the dev know what you think of the game. And yeah, I got to do what I got to do. Yo, Nova, how you doing? Hey, Kosher, welcome in. Welcome in. I'm doing just fine. I hope you're doing all right. But yeah, I have no idea what these burdens do. I wish I could find out, but I can only judge the parts of the game that I played. And I really tried, guys. I really tried. But unfortunately, sorry Raiders, but this is actually where we're going to end today because I need to get back to more judging. Again, these are just highlights. I'm not actually doing any live judging on stream. Because I just wanted to show off some stuff and talk about some of these games that I was playing. So, yeah. With that being said, we're going to go see if the game gets some custom sprites and art styles. I pay a couple smackaroos for it. I don't think you're the only one, John Erico. I really don't think you would be. So, with that being said, who else is up? Who else is still on? Okay, Riggy's... both Riggy and Benny are doing judging still. Thank you for the stream. Well, thank you guys for being here, as always. What do you say you got... Oh, okay. Wow, Riggy, Benny, and Hawk Zombie. Okay. Wow, Benny's still up here. Okay, I have not rated Benny, like, ever. So let's give him some love. He's also checking out some games. Let's see. I don't know which game he's playing. But, hey, Stoic. Hey, raid Benny? Okay, fine. Well, if Stoic says so, then I just have to. Right? I don't really have any choice, do I? Yeah. Let's see him call me harsh now after I decide to send you guys his way. Yeah. I bet you he wouldn't say anything about that. Let's see. He's playing Irene Homecoming. Oh, yikes. Unfortunately, that is a game that I have yet to get to. So, in order to keep myself as, fresh as possible, I'm just going to have to dump you guys off and dip. Because I don't want to watch him play a game that I have yet to judge. So, I'm going to go ahead and start the raid. Yeah. So, thank you all so much for dropping by. I really do appreciate it. And I will move in and get back to judging right after this. Later. Yeah, good night. Good night. Thank you all for stream. Yeah, no problem. It's always great to have you guys here. And I rated because that's just what I do. I cut things off. All right, later. You know what I mean?